Thanks for tuning in, everybody. It's your favorite automotive YouTuber, Bryan916, and welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be discussing toolboxes, primarily two toolboxes I think that most people buy in the affordable tool range. Behind me I have this Husky toolbox that I bought about 3 years ago. And so I'm going to give an updated and sort of an honest opinion after 3 years of heavy use of this Husky toolbox. I also have another Husky toolbox over there that I think I've had about 6 years. And then I have another one on the other wall in my garage that I've had for maybe 1 year. So I'm no stranger to the Husky toolbox. I've had enough Husky toolboxes to get an idea of how long they last, and whether or not I think it's a good option for an auto technician. Now on the other hand, I have had Harbor Freight toolboxes as well, and so this is going to be based off of my opinion and what I think about the two toolboxes. So in this video, I hope that you're able to determine which toolbox you should buy when it comes to the Husky toolbox from Home Depot or the Harbor Freight toolboxes. The US General would be comparable in price. So I'm going to give my honest opinion, and like I said, hopefully this little bit of information can help you make a decision. So without further ado, let's take a closer look. Okay, so like everything else, you do have pros and cons when purchasing an item. And so this toolbox is no exception. It definitely has some pros and cons. So I'm going to jump into the pros first because believe it or not, I think the cons outweigh the pros on this toolbox. So the first pro on this toolbox is going to be this wood top. This wood top has been very sturdy. It's held up. You know, I do have another workbench. So I did most of my heavy lifting on that other workbench. But I will tell you that this thing is pretty thick. It's probably about maybe 1.25 inches thick. It's very solid. It's not cheap filling at all. So they definitely did a good job on it. And there are small hex style bolts or Allen style bolts here where you can remove this and probably flip it up on the other side, I would imagine, or replace the top at all. So you do have that option. If you beat this top up, you can replace it. So that is a huge pro, especially if you don't want to hutch and you want to sort of use your toolbox as a workstation. You know, maybe put a laptop on there where you can retrieve your repair software, email customers, check your emails, look up information online, etc. So definitely the worktop is a pro in my opinion. The second thing that I really liked about this is this back pegboard. So what I liked about this back pegboard, other than the fact that you can hang wrenches and whatever things you want to hang on this pegboard, you can do it, but it's also metal, so you're able to stick magnetic items on here. You can put your magnet trays up here and whatnot. So I really did like the fact that it was metal. And then a part of this pegboard, it has this little top thing up here, and all this came with the toolbox. None of this stuff was additional. So I was able to put my chargers up here, and this is metal as well. So I have these little hooks under here where I hang customers' keys on and stick it right up under there, and never had a problem losing a customer's key. So it was really nice to have this top piece up here. It really did keep me organized. Also my speaker up there, I would play tunes and things like that, have my tunes playing, have my batteries charging. So yeah, or if you want to stick any magnetic lights up here, have them charging at the same time, and so that was really nice. So I really like that feature about this toolbox. And moving on to the next pro about this toolbox is going to be this power strip right here. You can also see it has two little USB ports right there, as well as 6 electrical outlets with grounds. So really did like this power strip. that was definitely a pro for me. Okay, so jumping into the cons of this toolbox, and of course this is coming from an automotive technician, a professional automotive technician. It could be different for people in other trades, you know, contractors and HVAC technicians and, you know, handyman and things like that. It could be different, but this is from an automotive technician standpoint. And I have to say that this is probably not going to be the best toolbox for a professional auto technician. I've had this toolbox for 3 years and I really don't see it lasting too much longer. Same goes for my other Husky toolbox in the corner over there. I have drawers that won't open because the metal is so thin on it that it kind of got bent in the box, and the drawer hits it when I try to open it, and I kind of got to force the drawer open. All right, so back to this toolbox. You can see it has a very big top drawer right here. A drawer this size, you could get quite a bit in here. And from an auto technician's standpoint, this is most likely going to be like a top socket drawer. And you're probably going to get a lot of stuff that you reach for first, primarily socket drawer. Now, I wasn't using this as a socket drawer when I first bought it, and now that I am using it as a socket drawer, and I got quite a few sockets up in there, but you can see that it's just one single slide right here, and this drawer leans when I start pulling it out. There's quite a bit of weight on these slides. This drawer doesn't stay like horizontal when I pull it out. It actually starts to slant downward. It starts to lean. I don't know if the camera could actually pick that up, but you can see that it's too much weight for this toolbox. And what I have in this drawer up here, most auto technicians have this as well, and if not more. All right, so when I pull this drawer out, a lot of times it doesn't come out straight. It'll come out crooked, and I almost kind of gotta like wiggle it to bring it out. That makes sense. Or it'll come out, and then I have to sort of yank it out a bit further to get my back sockets out. And if you notice, there's something right here. I'm not 100% sure what this is right here, but it's definitely broken, whatever it is. And this has been broke for quite a while. I've been living with this being broke for at least a year, maybe a little bit longer. And I imagine it may be a part of the soft shut system or whatever, but I'll try to zoom in there. So you can see whatever this is in this slide, it's broken. Okay, so next up is going to actually be the physical appearance, and I actually tried to clean it a little bit, make it look a little bit better for the video, but you can see it's scratched up, and it really doesn't retain the finish on this toolbox. See right in there, scratched up. Got some scratches on the drawer. Lots of scratches in here. And you know, I'm not the type of person that will just beat a toolbox up. This is normal wear and tear for 3 years. You can also see I got something on it, that white stuff. I'm not sure exactly what I got on it, but it has a work top on it, so you know, I'm sure I was doing something on it, probably using brake clean or something, I don't know, but you know, maybe that's my bad, I don't know, but I've gotten brake clean on other toolboxes before and this didn't happen. So I mean, again, this could be my fault, but I definitely think that this toolbox, the finish on it, doesn't last quite as long as some of the other toolboxes that I've had. My next issue is going to be with this cabinet door right here. Just watch. You see how nothing stops it. Whatever they had right there broke off. It wasn't nothing on my part. I wasn't slamming it and karate kicking the door trying to break it, you know. Just over time, it just, whatever stops this door fell off. And so what I did was I just put a magnet right here, and so I got a little magnet there just to keep it shut. I can lock it, and if I lock it, it'll stay shut, but it won't come back out this way, but I can still push it in, you know. So this toolbox is not very durable, especially from an automotive standpoint. So another issue that's kind of annoying is that these soft close drawers over time wear out, and or it just won't close all the way. For example, this drawer, there's always a gap right here, which is really annoying. So if I open this drawer up and I go to close it, try that again. I go to close it, you can see it won't close all the way. I'll still have a gap. But this drawer, see, it closes all the way. So this drawer is annoying. I always have this gap right here. I kind of gotta like shove it closed, but you can still see there's a bit of a gap right there. So that's kind of annoying. Okay, and another con to this toolbox, again from an automotive standpoint, are these really thin drawers that they have. This is something that I didn't necessarily realize when I bought it, but this is $1,000 toolbox, and I got it for like, I want to say like $680 or so, a little under $700. It was one of the demo toolboxes in Home Depot that they had set up, and so yeah, they had like a sell sticker on it, so I bought it, and it was already put together. They just loaded it in back of my pickup, and there you go. So couldn't pass up a good deal. But anyway, this toolbox has these really thin drawers like this, and I can't, this half-inch drive just barely clears the back of this thing. That's really thin. Most of our drawers need to be at least this deep. You know, this is a very thin drawer. I was able to get some things in there, but it's not the best drawer for an auto technician. So there's really not much you could do with a drawer like this, but maybe put screwdrivers in it, and that's what I did with these really thin drawers. But yeah, for auto repair, you know, it's best that we have a little bit deeper drawers than that. So that was my honest review after 3 years of using this toolbox, and my conclusion is I don't think it's a good toolbox for a professional auto technician. After 3 years, this toolbox is starting to fall apart. I have another Husky toolbox that I have for 6 years. That one's the same. That one's getting raggedy and falling apart as well. So my conclusion is Husky toolboxes, although they're inexpensive, I think that you'll end up spending more money in the long run as an auto technician if you keep buying them. Now that brings me to Harbor Freight, because Husky and a US General is right around the same price range. In this scenario, I think Harbor Freight is going to be the better option. As much as I don't like certain things about Harbor Freight, there's things that I do like about Harbor Freight, but there's certainly a lot of things that I don't like about Harbor Freight. I really don't like how they sort of mimic and knock off other tool designs. I really can't stand that. I think that they're definitely a big enough company to come up with their own sort of tool design and their whole ecosystem, if you will, with their stuff. So when I take a look around YouTube and I see all the channels that's affiliated and sponsored with Harbor Freight and the stuff that they give away, it only seems to be white YouTubers. So that's one thing that I don't like about Harbor Freight. I've never seen them, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, but I've never seen them give any free products to, or affiliate themselves with, or sponsor any black YouTubers, any Latino YouTubers, any Asian YouTubers. It's always white YouTubers. And Harbor Freight's a big company. They didn't get to be this big being stupid. I'm sure they understand that everybody buys their stuff. Harbor Freight, if you're watching this, sponsor some Asian guys, sponsor some Latino guys, sponsor some black guys. Okay guys, so that was my honest and unbiased opinion and review of this Home Depot Husky mobile workbench. There are some pros, there are some cons. I definitely think the cons outweigh the pros for auto technicians specifically, and it's a toolbox in the affordable range of $1,000 that I don't necessarily recommend, and I probably would recommend a Harbor Freight US General toolbox. I think that you'll probably get much more use out of it. Again, this toolbox only lasts me about 3 years, and I can definitely see the decline of this toolbox at this point. So again, I wouldn't recommend it. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. This is Bryan916. See you guys on the next one.